Yo, call me a window the way I'm gonna break it with a rock with my car. Everybody, what's up? Welcome back to the Game Skins. Today, and only today, we are here to talk about the climax, right? We are officially in the month of Sonic and Shadow. The big time, the big month this year for us to get our big trailers, our big announcements and everything. And I thought we would just sit here, do some final predictions before everything goes down. This is a crucial time for you to subscribe to the channel because there's going to be a ton of content on all the Sonic stuff that's about to go down this month. As time goes on, all our stories start with Midori. Midori tweeted out, more information on the Year of Shadow is approaching. Please look forward to more information in June. That was tweeted May 30th. So obviously not just implying Summer Games, but yeah, that just Year of Shadow content is about to continue. Now, my prediction, right? My first wild prediction is this year, the Sonic Central, they're not going to call it a Sonic Central. I think they are going to call it a Shadow Central. And I think that's going to be the whole theming. I think, you know, they're going to show some more Sonic Shadow gens in it. I think they'll show their mobile collabs with it. Maybe they'll have one other surprise in there. But regardless, I feel like for the most part, it's going to be a Shadow, you know, presentation this time around. And then on the second, right, she said this week, Sega has been preparing new information on current Sonic projects. Please wait for more information very soon. So this is the interesting one, guys, where our minds ding a little bit. Sega has been preparing to share new information on current Sonic projects, plural. Right now, I know what you're thinking, right? What does this mean, right? This can mean anything. I'm curious what that means, right? Because in my mind, I'm like, is this you alluding to obviously Summer Games Fest, which is coming up, or is this you alluding to, you know, multiple new projects, right? And I asked, obviously, I was like, yo, any new things we've never heard of, or is it updates? And it's mostly new updates on upcoming Sonic projects. There should be tweets soon and website updates for the Sonic series. So we're like right there. We're almost about to find out. So this video, you know, might be moot soon, but I figured we'd at least talk about it and predict here, because for me, if we're hearing we're about to see tweets, I'm thinking one, you know, I think the Sonic Twitter is going to announce like, hey, yeah, stay tuned for Jeff Keighley's Summer Games Fest to see the first look at Sonic Shadow Generations gameplay trailer and all that stuff. I think that'll be the first major thing. In fact, Jeff Keighley, you know, put his summer hype game trailer that he always does for Summer Games Fest. And if we go to around the 125-minute mark over here, we can see our boy pull right up. Right here, right now. There he is, bro. Our boy, Shadow the Hedgehog, right there in full frame. So obviously, you know, Jeff Keighley has before put games that haven't necessarily been on the show, but it's been pretty much confirmed, I feel like, at this point with what Midori said and this video, that it's going to be. And there's no reason it wouldn't. Again, Jeff Keighley has had Sonic content constantly since 2021, you know what I mean? Like ever since the Sonic Frontiers, Sonic Movie 2, then at Summer Games Fest. 2 years ago, he had the game playable. The year after, he announced Sonic Superstars. Like, he is in bed with Sonic, you know what I'm saying? He is really in the lab with Sonic the Hedgehog, right? And I'm happy about that, just for the sheer fact that we can most of the time expect something. As for the content that will be announced for Sonic Shadow Generations, I think one thing, right? Base game, they'll probably say that, hey, 4K 60 FPS across the board. I think they'll say, you know, Classic Sonic has a drop dash. I think maybe some quality of life fixes, but I don't see any new levels being added to Generations. As much as I want that, and I think that would be really awesome, and maybe they are going to surprise us and have an extra level or two in there, I feel like Sonic Generations is going to continue to be Sonic Generations, and at most maybe we'll have the customization options from Sonic Colors and some little cosmetics in there, but the big focus is going to be the Shadow side. I think the Shadow side is going to be more substantial than we think. I mean, look, Generations is already a short game, right? We're talking about a game that takes maybe 4 hours to be, if you want 100%, and maybe 6 to 7 hours, right? So if Shadow Generations is like 2 hours, that's like half the time the base game takes to be. I think that's a good enough time, you know, to show what's going on. I think we're going to finally hear what Shadow's voice is in the game, because we didn't hear him. We're actually going to hear a song from in-game, because we have yet to hear the game's OST. Obviously, I know I'm expecting it to be playable and have some footage. A lot of footage is probably going to be out there, which will be very cool. But I just expect to see a gameplay of an actual level and see how the dialogue is and everything. It's going to showcase what we're going to go through here, the storyline, you know, maybe maybe just give it some teaser, maybe a bit more CG shots in there. But regardless, we are about to eat with the whole shebang, bro. And of course, we need a release date, right? And my prediction is the release date is going to be November, right? The reason I think that is because I think September is too soon. I think October is taken by Metaphor. I think, you know, Alice wants to promote Metaphor, and I think in September they even have the I Guess DLC. We have Monkey Ball coming out in June, so I feel like it's not too soon, but I think November makes a lot of sense because the movie's going to be in December, right? And that's going to be a huge deal, and you want something for the holidays. So think Shadow Sonic Gens, maybe first week of November, same way Generations was, makes a lot of sense. It could be, they could be fucking crazy and drop it like mid-September, right? But with Sonic, it's really random. Sometimes the games come out in September, sometimes it's October like Superstars last year, and sometimes it's November. But I feel like November is what they're going to go with this time around. Big question, right, begins, right, over here that we got to talk about. Is this the time for Sonic Movie 3? My prediction, right, this is just what I think is going to happen, is I think we won't necessarily get a trailer, but we will get the reveal of Shadow's design, voice, and some sort of footage. I think it'll be like, hey, you know, in order to keep you, you know, ready for the trailer that's coming up in a few weeks, we've come with a world premiere look at Shadow's design for movie 3. And I think it'll be, you know, him walking through the shadows or a clip of him walking out, you know, the vial or something. But I feel like it won't necessarily be a trailer, but it'll be like, hey, Shadow is here, and we'll get the reveal of Keanu. Maybe Keanu will be there in person, or we'll hear the voice, but I think they will make it official, because again, we have yet to really hear from the horse's mouth about Keanu voicing Shadow. We know it's happening, we know it's factual because of all the articles, Variety, and all this stuff, but we have yet to really sit down and hear him talk. As always, I sit here when I read Midori tweets thinking, right, if it's mostly updates on upcoming Sonic projects, what else could it be, right? Because I feel like it's not Sonic Rumble, right? I don't think Sonic Rumble is something they're going to show again when we just had the closed beta. I think they're going to save that. I think there's still some time to talk about that. And so in my mind, I start to think, like, what's gonna happen here? Like, are we about to have everything before Summer Games Fest, or is it all gonna be a big blowout at Summer Games Fest? Because really, all I can think about right now is whatever we're gonna get for Sonic Shadow Gens and the mobile games. I don't see them announcing any other video game project, because, you know, she is saying here, preparing new info on current Sonic projects, but again, Sonic projects is such a broad term. It could literally be mobile games, it could mean, you know, board games, it could be the Lego figures, whatever. Like, it could be a bunch of stuff, but I would love something shocking. You know, what if Sonic does a cool collab with a game we don't know about, you know, that we're gonna see in the next coming days? You know, maybe what if they, you know, tell us more about what's coming up with movie 3 or announce a trailer? But regardless, it seems like we are about to devour some food. And of course, let me know in the comments below what you're expecting, what you want to see, and all that stuff. But man, like, my mind just wanders because it feels like we are in the end game. And I don't think Summer Games Fest is where everything stops, right? I think there's going to be a Summer Games Fest announcement. There's going to be a Shadow Central. And obviously, you know, Sonic's birthday is coming up on the 23rd or 24th. I always get the date mixed up. I'm sure something will drop around then. But it feels like we have something to consume constantly. In fact, this dude over here made like a cool series roadmap of the schedule we have this year. And honestly, this is a really good year, and also just a really good time to be a Sonic fan, because look, we had Sonic Prime Season 3 beginning of the year. We're getting content updates for Dream Team throughout the year. There was the crossover with mobile, Sonic Angry Birds, whatever, Knuckles series, Sonic Mania on mobile, and we have Shadow Generations coming up, Sonic Rumble coming up, and Sonic Movie 3. And while this isn't the most exciting, craziest lineup, this is awesome for a year and a franchise that really doesn't need to sit down and wait for the next mainline game. You know, I feel like we can finally be at a Mario point with Sonic, right? Where not necessarily there's something to eat 24/7, right? But there's at least something every few months. What's cool about Sonic is I feel like it's even bigger than how Mario handles it. Like, I feel like with Sonic, there's always animations coming up. I think there's always a mobile game, an IDW, some kind of thing, right? And I feel like just if you're a fan of the comics, if you're a fan of mobile, if you're a fan of shows or something, it really feels like there's something to eat. And obviously, the big highlights of this year are going to be Sonic Shadow Gens and Sonic Movie 3, right? But it's just that the prospect of what's to come is so exciting to me. And I wonder if there is a surprise. I feel like at the most we could get maybe another secret game drop, kind of like Murder of Sonic, where maybe like a small game drops somewhere on the eShop. But I would more likely expect some more Sonic collabs, right? I feel like we don't get enough Sonic collabs with other projects, and I feel like I'd like to see something special, something cool. Put Sonic maybe in another fighting game, or Shadow in another fighting game. Do something crazy that no one would expect with this series, and just surprise me, man. I cannot wait. We're about to eat with a lot of news. And guys, make sure to subscribe to your boy. Like I said, I'm going to be live reacting to everything on Twitch this week, talking about it all. So make sure you be here, be excited, and I will have everything ready for you to discuss. And hopefully, if I get to go to Summer Game Fest, hopefully these things are playable. Hopefully I get a big chance. It's going to be lit cash money. All right, I love you guys. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all next time. Peace out.